Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Ever Revenge, where we spin yarns of passion's fire, betrayal's chill, and the kind of comebacks that make your heart race and your fists clench in equal measure. If you're dipping your toes in for the first time, strap in. This channel's a whirlwind of emotions that'll leave you scrolling for more. We're knocking on the door of that 1K subscriber milestone. And folks, your love is the key turning the lock. So, if this vibe's pulling you in, hit subscribe like it's your new favorite habit, toggle those notifications to glow, and let's surge past 1K as one unbreakable crew. And hey, from the bottom of my storyteller's heart, watch this full video. It's not just a tale, it's a full-body immersion with twists that'll have you gasping, tearing up, and rooting hard by the end. No skips, I swear. The call that changes everything. Pure gold. Brew some coffee or pour a nightcap, get comfy, and let's unravel tonight's gut-wrencher. My wife went to a girls' night out, but she regretted everything when I got that call, woman dancing telephone receiver, broken heart, pouting face. Here we go. The bass thrummed through the floorboards of our Victorian row house like a distant heartbeat, syncing with the summer storm rattling the windows. It was a Friday in July, the kind where the air hung heavy with jasmine from the garden trellis and unspoken tensions we'd both pretended weren't brewing. Sophie and I had been married 6 years. 6 years of sun-soaked mornings in our king-sized bed, her leg thrown over mine, whispering dreams over coffee steam. 6 years of her laughter echoing in our home studio where she painted abstracts that bled emotion onto canvas, wild strokes of crimson and indigo capturing the chaos we called love. We'd collided at an art walk in Soho, me a 29-year-old freelance photographer chasing light through urban canyons. Her a 27-year-old barista with paint-speckled overalls and eyes like molten amber. She was critiquing a graffiti mural. "It's screaming, but does it hurt?" And I, fumbling my camera strap, quipped, "Only if you listen close enough." By midnight, we'd wandered the streets, sharing street tacos and stories. Her escape from a stifling family in the Midwest, my nomadic childhood dodging my dad's deployments. Under a flickering neon sign, I kissed her. Tentative at first, then fierce, her hands fisting my shirt as rain began to patter. "Don't let go," she'd murmured against my lips. "I haven't. Not yet." Our life was a mosaic of magic and mundane. We'd eloped to the Smoky Mountains, vows exchanged on a fog-shrouded ridge with nothing but a wildflower crown for her and my grandfather's old Leica as witness. Honeymooned in a VW van along the Pacific coast, pulling over for impromptu shoots where I'd capture her silhouette against crashing waves, wind whipping her auburn curls into a halo. Back home we built rituals. Tuesday night tango lessons in our living room, her body melting into mine as salsa pulsed from the speakers. Lazy brunches where she'd feed me bites of her experimental quiches, yolk dripping like lazy sunrises. Intimacy was our anchor. Nights tangled in Egyptian cotton sheets, her nails raking my back in rhythms that spoke louder than words, gasps and "I love yous" blending into the dark. But cracks spider-webbed in lately. My photo gigs had dried up post-pandemic, clients ghosting for AI filters, leaving me staring at blank hard drives and unpaid bills. Sophie's gallery showings kept her out late, networking with curators who dangled promises like bait. We'd snap over small things. Forgotten laundry, my brooding silences, her distracted scrolls through Insta feeds of perfect couples. "We're just tired," I'd say, pulling her close, inhaling the turpentine and vanilla of her skin. She'd nod, but her hugs felt like holding smoke. That Friday she needed an escape. "Girls' night," she announced over breakfast, her voice bright but edged with something brittle. Her besties, Lena the fiery graphic novelist and Tara the unflappable yoga instructor, were dragging her to the Velvet Rope, a downtown lounge with velvet booths and cocktails named after forbidden fruits. It'll be harmless fun. Dancing, drinks, blowing off steam. I forced a smile, stirring my oatmeal like it owed me answers. "Go wild. Just text me when you're home." She pecked my cheek, her lips soft but fleeting. "Always, babe. Love you." The door clicked shut behind her, and the house exhaled, too quiet without her humming off-key show tunes. I spent the evening tinkering in the darkroom basement, our converted pantry where red safe lights glowed like embers, negatives curling in developing trays. Prints emerged like ghosts. One of Sophie midlaugh at last year's harvest festival, cider mug raised, freckles dusted across her nose like constellations. Another, us on our 3rd anniversary, her straddling me on the kitchen counter, eyes half-lidded in that post-dinner haze, my hand splayed on her thighs. Nostalgia twisted in my gut, sharp as undeveloped film. By 10 p.m. her first text buzzed. Shots with the girls. Miss your grumpy face already. Kiss mark, I grinned, firing back a selfie of me modeling a ridiculous feather boa from her costume bin. Don't let Lena teach you any new dance moves I can't compete with. The replies flowed, emojis, inside jokes, until around midnight they tapered. Battery dying. Love you. Fair enough. The lounge's vibe swallowed signals. Midnight stretched into 1 a.m., the storm easing to a drizzle that tapped Morse code on the roof. I paced the kitchen, brewing chamomile that went cold, scrolling her last Insta story. A blurry boomerang of the trio toasting, Sophie's smile wide but her eyes distant? Paranoia prickled, born of too many true crime podcasts and my own insecurities gnawing like mice in the walls. At 1:37 my phone shattered the silence. Not a text but a call. Unknown number. Heart slamming, I answered. Hello, David. It's Marcus. The voice slurred, thick with booze and something darker. Panic? Marcus Hale, Sophie's ex from art school. The trust fund sculptor who'd once carved her a locket she still kept tucked in her jewelry box, for the memories. We weren't friends but our circles overlapped at gallery openings. He'd slap my back with "How's the ball and chain?" Grins that set my teeth on edge. Listen man. I hate to fuck this is messed up. I'm at the rope. Sophie's here. With me. Things escalated. She's wasted, talking shit about you, the fights, how you're suffocating her dreams. I tried to be the shoulder but... We kissed. More than. In the alley. I stopped it, swear, but she's spiraling. Thought you should know before. The line crackled, then went dead. Or maybe I dropped the phone. The tile floor rushed up, cold against my palm. Betrayal bloomed hot and vicious in my chest. A wildfire scorching vows, memories, the very air I breathed. Escalated. More than. Her laughter from earlier texts mocked me now. A siren's call. I grabbed keys, stormed out into the rain-slick night. Wipers slashing fury across the windshield as I peeled toward downtown. Visions assaulted. Her body arching into his, lips bruised, hands where mine belonged. 6 years reduced to alley shadows. Rage boiled, yes, fists white-knuckled on the wheel, curses spilling like venom, but beneath it a chasm of grief yawned, swallowing whole. How had we frayed so far? Was I the villain in her story, clipping her wings with my doubts? The velvet rope loomed, neon pulsing like a wound. I burst through the doors, bass assaulting my ears, bodies writhing under strobing lights. Spotted them at a corner booth. Sophie slumped against Lena, Tara scanning her phone, Marcus hovering like a vulture in sheep's clothing. His hand too close to her knee. She looked wrecked, mascara smudged into raccoon shadows, dress askew, a half-empty martini glass tipped precariously. Our eyes locked across the chaos, hers widening in drunken horror, mine steel-hard with the call's echo. David, she slurred, lurching up, but I was on her. Grip iron on her elbow as I hauled her toward the exit. We need to talk. Now. Whispers rippled, patrons parting like the Red Sea, but I didn't care. Outside, rain pelted us merciless, soaking through clothes, chilling to the bone. She yanked free, swaying. What the hell? How'd you, Marcus called you? That bastard. The pieces slammed together, fury cresting. He told me everything. The alley. The escalation. How I'm suffocating you. My voice cracked, raw as exposed film. She blanched, color draining, hands flying to her mouth. No. No. It wasn't. Sobs racked her, bending her double against the brick wall, rain mingling with tears. We were dancing, stupid, tipsy fun. He cornered me outside for a smoke, started reminiscing, saying you didn't get me anymore. I was drunk, angry at us, at the distance, and I leaned in. But it was a mistake, David. Stupid, wine-fueled blur. He pushed further, but I shoved him off. Called it. Lena pulled me back inside. Her eyes pleaded, amber drowning in regret. I love you. Not him. Never him. The fights. They're because I'm scared. Scared we'll fade if I chase the gallery life and you chase shots that don't exist anymore. I staggered back, rain blurring the world, her words a lifeline in the torrent. Not full betrayal, just a teetering edge, a near miss born of our shared fractures. But the call's poison lingered, Marcus's voice a serpent's hiss. He said you were talking shit. That I was the problem. She straightened, fire sparking through the tears. Then he lied. To hurt you. To win some old game. We stood there, drenched phantoms under the awning, breaths sinking in the downpour. My anger ebbed, revealing the ache beneath. Fear of losing her to the drift we'd let widen. Soph. I can't lose you to alleys or doubts. But I won't chain you either. She stepped close, hands framing my face, thumbs tracing my jaw. Cold, trembling but sure. Then let's bridge it. No more pretending we're fine. I regret tonight like fire in my veins, but maybe it's the wake-up we needed. We drove home in weighted silence, her head on my shoulder, my hand laced with hers over the gearshift. Inside, towels and hot showers waited, steam fogging mirrors as she peeled off her dress, revealing goosebump skin I traced with apologies unspoken. In bed, under quilts heavy as confessions, we unraveled. Her fears of outgrowing me, my terror of irrelevance in a filtered world. You're my light chaser, she whispered, fingers weaving through my hair. Even when storms blind us. I kissed her then, slow, deliberate, tasting salt and renewal. Lips parting, tongues tentative at first. Then urgent, bodies realigning like puzzle pieces long misplaced. Her sighs were symphonies, legs wrapping my waist as I moved over her. Every thrust a vow renewed, climax crashing like waves on that honeymoon shore. Shared, shattering, sacred. Afterward, entwined and spent, she murmured. No more nights out without you. Or with whatever. Just us rebuilding. Dawn broke golden, filtering through gauzy curtains as we rose to truths. I dusted off my portfolio, pitching raw, unfiltered series to indie mags, urban souls in rain-slick streets, her as muse in half the frames. She invited me to her next critique, my lens capturing the passion in her debates. Challenges persisted, bills biting, dreams deferred, but we faced them tandem. Joint vision boards pinned with gallery invites and exhibit lists, tango nights evolving into strategy sessions over wine. Marcus. A cease and desist from her lawyer for harassment. His sculptures suddenly uninspired in reviews. Revenge wasn't fists. It was rising, intertwined. 1 year on at her solo show, Edges and Anchors, I watched patrons orbit her pieces, abstracts of tempests tamed, reds bleeding into blues. She found me in the crowd, champagne flute in hand, pulling me.